Kindness is something you can give without losing anything yourself. And these compassionate people prove that love and kindness are never wasted. From a motorcyclist rushing into traffic to save a kitten, to a cashier giving his own $500 to a desperate man. Here are some heartwarming random acts of kindness that will make you cry. Parents have to make many sacrifices for their children, and this father is no different. He tells his children on the phone that his friend bought him a bunch of food, while in reality, he only has a bun in front of him. Sensing his sadness and self-sacrifice, the guy beside him comforts the older man and buys him food from his own pocket. Other people soon pitch in as well. Here's to faith in humanity. This brave man saw a driver suffering from a seizure and decided to risk his own life by diving into the moving vehicle through the car window. He soon manages to take control of the car and pulls the handbrake immediately. In doing so, he basically saved the man's life. This mama sloth was reunited with her lost baby when a man handed the youngling to her. Watch how she looks at her baby's savior with a shocked and grateful look, as if she couldn't believe her own eyes at the guy's kind deed. This conductor was delighted out of his wits when his talented orchestra students gifted him with a beautiful rendition of Happy Birthday on his special day. He breaks into joyful laughter when another student comes up with a cake for him to celebrate with. These students surprised their teacher on a Zoom call during their last semester class. When they turn on their cameras together, he tears up at the sight of them holding up placards, thanking and appreciating him for everything. In a remarkable display of compassion, the tennis player Grigor Dimitrov leaped over the net to help his opponent, who twisted his ankle and collapsed in extreme pain. Grigor then carried the fallen player off the court like a true gentleman. These girls proved that kindness transcends teams and rivalry. They quickly surrounded the other girl and formed a human shield around her so she could fix her hijab in privacy. This is what you call true sportsmanship. This 81-year-old woman was alone in the blistering cold to shovel her driveway. Luckily, a kind FedEx worker saw her struggling and came over to help. He immediately took the shovel and started to clear the lady's driveway for her. Not all superheroes wear capes. This cop chased a speeding teenager, probably thinking it was a troublemaker. When the young man explained that he was speeding because he had a presentation and needed to tie his tie at his friend's place, the cop immediately changed his stance and proceeded to tie it himself. This truck driver stepped in when he saw an old woman struggling to cross a flooded street to get to her car. He moved the truck backward, extended the flatbed, and helped her cross the road safely to her car. Before he was diagnosed with an incurable disease, Ben Alice was a high school teacher. He had to end his teaching career and stay home. But it seems that his pupils didn't forget about him, because more than 400 students came to his house to support him in the last days of his life, so he could get the farewell he deserved. We tend to take many things for granted, while many people in the world can't even imagine having what we have. This poor boy had seen sneakers in pictures but could never afford them. One day, someone surprised him with brand new sneakers. Suffice to say, the boy couldn't contain his gratitude and joy. Imagine giving your jacket to someone else in the freezing cold while it's raining. Sounds pretty challenging, doesn't it? This man displayed a remarkable feat of compassion when he took off his own jacket and wrapped it around a small boy working on the street in the pouring rain. What a hero! This homeless man had been starving for days when he finally found some food. However, he still managed to share it with a stray cat that was equally hungry as him. If this doesn't bring tears to your eyes, what will? This crowd of protesters came together to remove a roadblock so a fire truck could pass through. The public instantly dismantled the block without hesitation because saving lives was more important to them than their cause. This motorcyclist saw a tiny kitten lying in the middle of the road while the cars rushed about it indifferently. So he immediately stepped into the traffic, telling them to slow down while he picked up the poor creature and cradled it in his hands to take it somewhere safe. In another display of compassionate sportsmanship, these girls stopped to help a rival runner who'd stumbled due to exhaustion. Together, they carried the nearly unconscious girl to the finish line without caring about their victory. This video proves that human beings are superheroes in their own right. See this patrolman running through the bone-chilling wizard in front of a truck? He isn't doing this for fun. Due to the zero visibility, he's leading the drivers safely through a rugged section of the road. These station workers stepped in to help the female passengers cross over to the other train. One of them bent over so the women could step on his back and into the train carriage, and the others held their hands to help them across. Here's to kindness in the unlikeliest of places. This woman's inner child came out when her friends gifted her a huge doll. She'd always wished for a doll when she was a kid, but unfortunately her family couldn't afford it due to poverty. That day, her friends made her the happiest person on earth. These cops stopped their car to help a homeless man who was freezing out in the cold. They gave him a warm jacket and even helped him put it on. Has your faith in humanity been restored yet? This poor guy was looking for work to save up for a pair of glasses. When the cashier learned about the guy's heart-wrenching circumstances, he immediately took out his own $500 and gave it to the man. It's just one act of kindness, but it made a man's day. This bare-chested homeless man was riding the subway because it was the only way for him to warm up when a guy took off his own shirt and jacket to give to the man. One good deed led to another, and other people pitched in to help the old man. Kindness only spawns more compassion. Hugo Rowling had to perform his wedding dance in his wheelchair, but his relatives decided to make the day more memorable by hoisting him upright so he could sway with his beautiful bride like he'd always wanted to. This Turkish chef realized he should use his skills and resources to feed the people in his village who needed it more than anyone. He painstakingly cooked loads of food and distributed it in the street freely. At a scorching temperature of 38 degrees Celsius, this little bird was panting from heat and exhaustion. He started to chase a woman as his only hope. Luckily, she understood his silent plea. Just look at the little guy guzzling the water from her bottle like he's on fire. These kids joined hands to make their physically impaired classmates' dream come true. All the little boy wanted in life was to make a touchdown, so all the kids united to make it happen. This stranger saw a young mother struggling to protect the sleeping child in her arms from the pouring rain, so he gave her his own umbrella, leaving himself vulnerable to the elements. Did this tug at your heartstrings? This young girl struggled to make her way across the road on crutches, and no one around her was willing to help. Just then, a kind woman reached her and carried the girl on her own back so she could cross safely. She definitely deserves a medal for that. All right, folks, that was all for today's video. Did you like it? What else do you want to see on our channel? Tell us everything in the comments section below. We'll be back with another video. Peace out.